capture of the House of Representatives from the Republicans. However, Mr. Emanuel has not yet made any decision on whether to accept the offer. Mr. Obama may yet take part in the November 15th global economic crisis talks to be hosted by President George W. Bush in Washington. The White House had said before Mr. Obama's victory yesterday that he would likely not play a direct role in the Group of 20 summit. But a senior aide to President Bush said that the situation was not so clear-cut. He said that while they are consulting closely with the President-elect's team. Meanwhile, President Bush will urge the Group of 20 leaders at the November 15th summit not to use the crisis as an excuse for erecting trade barriers and scuttling free trade principles. U.S. stocks have plummeted a day after Barack Obama's historic victory in the presidential election. A fresh batch of dismal economic data underscored the massive challenges awaiting his administration. The Dow Jones plummeted 486 points to 9139 at the market close. The Nasdaq fell 98 points to 1682. In London, the FTSE 100 closed down 109 points at 4531, ending a six-session winning streak, as investors shifted their focus back to the faltering economy. Meanwhile, Asian shares are likely to fall as weak data cast fresh fears over the outlook for the global growth. Japan's Nikkei is expected to drop, led by exporters on a firmer yen, and after U.S. stocks sank. Australian share prices fell 4% in early trade. The benchmark S&P ASX 200 lost 172 points to 4164. It may be too early to speculate on how the results of the U.S. presidential elections will impact Asia. Given the state of the U.S. economy, pundits say rescuing it will be at the top of the president-elect's agenda. This, in turn, would have consequences for Asia, as pointed out by Associate Professor Andrew White from the SMU School of Law.
Because he has to address the American economy, that in some sense is going to also impact Asia and the rest of the world. As one says, when America sneezes and the rest of the world can't hold economically, if he can get our economy back on track, that will bode well for all of Asia, and certainly Southeast Asia, Singapore in particular.
Professor White was one of the speakers at a discussion panel on the U.S. presidential elections results organized by the Wee Kim Wee Center of the Singapore Management University yesterday. 938 Live Headline News, I'm Keith D'Souza.
Class 35 scored. Lewis Hamilton is staying with McLaren for the rest of his career, and Fernando Alonso will stay with Renault. Let's hope he does as